Good morning. Oh my goodness. Live at 6:05. Mike is awake. Mm. New video out today about NHS camp out at the weekend. We raised nearly 100K and it's going up all the time. Oh, good for you. Congratulations. Would you like to get on panel and start talking about it, David? It's going to be a slow night for me, or slow day for me. I just woke up. Let me get things started here, guys. Good morning. My name's Mike Millen. You're watching my channel, Chilling with Millen. I'm one sip into my first cup of coffee. It is 6:05 in the morning. And I'm awake. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of switcheroo around here, and I'm going to look for the astrology horoscopes that I usually read. Lower in the change the sign to Libra. Here we go, Libras horoscope for today. Boom. Move him up here. Yep, just getting set up, guys, honestly. I normally am a little bit more on the ball than this, but we kind of slept in. But don't worry about it. We're here, we're live, and we're reading horoscope. Good morning, Rich Life of Road Trips. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Oh, it's been a while. Never mind me. I'm just clicking around on my computer screen here, trying to get things all set up. Let's put this over here so I can read it. Okay, I'm going to be looking at the camera when I'm reading. All right, you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. You are waking up with me this morning. I am literally just turned the switch, poured my cup of coffee, and away we go. What am I doing? Minimize that and slide it over here. Perfect. There we go. So we're ready for Libra. What's this? Let me catch up on the chats here. Sorry you missed Monday. Don't worry about it, my friend. It is all good. All good. I've got Gemma's Journey Grace here. Good morning, Gemma. Good morning, David. And good morning, Rich Life Road Trips. It has been a long time. Yes, it has. Thank you for the phone call yesterday. It really lifted my spirits. Oh, no worries, Gemma. That was nice chatting with you. And I am doing okay. I'm just not quite awake yet. Good morning, Aunt Lorna. How are you this morning? Yes, I'm using StreamYards now on Inspired John's recommendation, which means I am also able to invite a friend. And I've given Desmond a little wink and a nod there. If he would like to join with me on the panel, I could open up Google Stream and eventually down the road, just give him the link as soon as I get it figured out. But for now, it's the same old Chilling with Millen, where I read your horoscopes if you type them in. So type in those horoscopes and I'll read them for you right after this. Who's that guy waking up in the morning? Not even fully awake and he's got a camera on. Wow. Who's that guy at 6:05? Maybe you caught him 5 on the fly. It's Chilling with Millen. Today we're going to read April 8th, 2020. They're here for Libra. There are 2 different emotions swimming around in your heart right now, and this duality might be confusing to you to the point of frustration. It's time to slow down and remind yourself that you don't have to make any sort of commitment or decision right this moment. Move these emotions up into your head and turn them into logical thoughts that you can see in a more analytical way. Getting your emotions organized will help. So there you go, guys. The very first horoscope this morning was Libra. Hey, Mom, Pa, Millen are in here. Good morning, Mom, Pa, Millen. I know I'm just saying hi to my mom because there's no freaking way in the world my dad is awake right now. But hey, say good morning to Dad when he does wake up. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not fully awake right now. It's just 6:05 in the morning, by the way. And I'm just grabbing my first cup of coffee. I know over in the UK where Desmond's Donders and Gemma's Journey Grace, probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon there. So hope your day is going well. And I hope that horoscope helped a little bit there, Gemma. But I've got another horoscope that I think I saw right after Libra, and that was Capricorn for my good friend David. So let's change it up and say, Capricorn, what's in store for you today? Capricorns. Someone has a few new ideas to share with you today, but will you have the time to listen? Try to slow down your normal routine long enough to hear people who don't normally have enough power or influence to bend your ear. You are one of those rare people who don't judge books by their covers. Today, keep that open mind, especially when someone says something that rubs you the wrong way. There's something there that's worth investigating. And boom, let's slip right into Lindsay's horoscope, shall we? And read Virgo. Today, even a slight change in your daily routine could put a major crimp in future social plans. Your schedule might be flexible, but your friends' schedules may not. Before rearranging any group plans, make sure that you touch base with someone and get their agreement. Even if it doesn't seem necessary, you can't assume that they can move their dates around the way you can. If you do, you could spark some resentments. There you go, Lindsay. All right, so NHS Campground video came out this weekend and it raised nearly 100K. Congratulations. If you'd like to come up on my panel, or there is a video, drop a link. And yeah, that'd be great. Rich Life of Road Trips. I think I saw your horoscope here. September, jingle. Leo and Sagittarius for Mom and Dad, I think. And Rich Life Road Trips. Did you put a horoscope in that I missed? I don't think so. I think I'm caught up. I think so. So I'm going to do Leo for my mom and dad. Yep, and we'll go from there. Man, the birds are singing early this morning. I can hear them outside my window. Here we go, Leo. A new person who enters your life today might not have a naturally warm personality. So don't take it personally if your charm doesn't seem to have any effect on them. This person just needs time to get accustomed to a new situation and new people. Give them space for a few days, at least 6 feet, and then make another effort to connect. This is definitely not the right time to make anyone feel under any type of pressure. I wonder how that translates. But that's Leo. There you go, guys. Now, let's see what we got for Sagittarius. Sagittarius. If you think if you think that you're completely in charge of your day today, you're in for a big surprise. It won't be another person or an unpleasant experience or even an inclement weather that mucks up the works. It'll be your unpredictable mood. The worst thing you can do is force yourself to do things that you really don't want to do, or pretend to be enthusiastic about something when you aren't really aren't all there. Just go with the flow and feel it, whatever it is that you feel. That's Sagittarius today, guys. Ah, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I was way off. And see, I have no idea what time it is in the world. 6:15 in Whitesville. And looks like Lindy is going back to work in a week or so. Apparently they're essential after all. Yup. That's a very heavy statement. My thoughts and prayers go out to Lindsay, that she does go back to work and stays safe. Let's keep Lindsay in our minds next week, guys. Tales from the DW is here. Good morning to Tales from the DW. And he's asking for Aquarius. So let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius. It's the age of Aquarius. Boom. Might not be easy to open up and let someone new into your life, but things worth doing are often difficult. You sense that you should let down your guard a little and you should trust yourself this time. The doubts and the fears will always be there, but you don't have to listen to them today. Listen to your heart and understand that you are capable of handling the consequences of your own actions. Life is yours to sculpt. Be bold and creative. All right, that was Aquarius for today, April 8th, 2020. Looks like Gemma's dropped another autism video. If you guys don't know who Gemma's Jerry Grace is, Gemma's doing an awesome job of raising awareness for mental health and autism, especially. A great little channel. Encourage you to go over there and check her out. Great person all around. Great human being. And Desmond's Donders. Desmond, you and I are going to have to chat sometime. My wife and I have still got 2 tickets booked to Scotland. I'm not sure how they're going to pull that off, but we'll see what kind of state the world's in by then. Hopefully we can get over and get in to visit. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. Today is Wednesday. Just a side note, with what's going on in the world, our government has asked us to wear a cloth over our face in public. Not because Canadians are particularly that ugly, but because it helps stop the spread of COVID-19. That's what we've got to do. We have, it doesn't have to be a surgical mask or anything like that. It's just, he's just asking to cover your face in public areas. Maintain the 6-foot distancing. It's not a substitute for that. And keep washing your hands and try not to touch your face. So that's what it's come to today, guys. Our government is ordering us to cover our faces in public. And that's it. On another note, let's go into Gemini. Thank you very much, David, for bringing that up. That Gemini has not been read, and I'm sure my Aunt Lorna has put that in there, and I missed it somehow. But let's do Gemini. my Gemini. Today, April 8th. Yes, I've invited Desmond. Oh, wait, the link. Just give me a second. All right, Gemini's up. It would be good for you to set a few goals, Gemini, but try to keep them simple and attainable as possible right now. So set a goal for yourself, Gemini, and make it simple and attainable. Attainable. I can say that word, attainable. It means something that you can attain. So make it attainable as possible. Simple. Right now, you need to remind yourself how capable and smart you are. Your famous ability to be reasonable and flexible will come in very handy today. So think about making an adjustment that has seemed somewhat difficult in the past. You're in a phase where you're more willing than ever to see things from a new and fresh perspective. I wish I could continue to play guitar and open up Google's and drop a link. But I can't. So I'm going to open up Google now, and I'm going to drop a link from my friend David, and he's going to come up on panel, and we're going to have a chat with our coffee. How's that sound? Just need to expand this for a second and go down here and invite and copy this link. I know this is boring, guys. I should have had this set up ahead of time. Copy to clipboard, but I never set anything up ahead of time. What are you talking about? This is Chilling with Millen. We do things live at 6:05 in the morning. Where's my Google Hangouts? Where's my Google Hangouts? I know. It's right there. I'll find David. Yes, so today is our first day that we've been ordered by our government to wear a face mask when we go out in public. Wife and I have opted for several pre-made balaclavas. We also we're in the works. She's gotten out her sewing kit. We're going to make some of those homemade ones. I very strongly recommend not using the medical grade. I mean, we're not supposed to. It's not required that they be medical grade. Just a simple covering on your face is fine. And I don't want to take anything away from people who absolutely need it in the medical facility, front lines, medical offices, people who actually need it, working with the frontline people that are actually sick. So I'm definitely not going to be rushing out and looking for a box of the N95s just to cover my face in public. I believe that I should be fine with cloth coverings and limited access to the public. Now, I don't know if you can see behind me, guys, but well, maybe not. But I do live in the middle of a huge city, so it's kind of hard to stay away from people when you live here. But I do. I'm trying to social isolate and distance myself as much as possible. And there we go. I've sent a link to David at Desmond's Donders for StreamYard. And when I see him pop up, he'll be able to come onto the screen and enjoy this great show with us. And that way, I'm going to clear this board for myself here, make it really easy for me to have a chat with David. And hopefully he's set up for us. And let's consider doing that. Just to lower that screen And yeah, it'll take him a minute if he's never been on StreamYard before. Quickly set up a profile after he clicks on that link, and he should be able to pop right in. But we'll wait for him. Before that happens, I'm gonna go quickly through the chats because, yep, don't want to miss it. Tales from the DW. How are you doing this morning? Glad to see you here. Mom, Pa, Millen. Let's keep going through here. Nobody else. Rich Life Road Trip is here. And there's David. I'm going to add him to the stream. Everybody say good morning to David.
Sorry, just complying with Canadian law. Morning, Mike.
Good morning, David. It is a pleasure to have you on this morning. Thank you so much for stopping by and giving me a hand right now. I'm struggling a little bit. I just woke up about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'll get around to waking up sometime. It's oh, hang on a minute. I don't know if you can hear that. I left my ham radio gear on. That's better.
Yeah, no worries. No feedback.
Yeah, I've got the mic muted in YouTube. I'm just relying on the input from StreamYard.
Perfect. So how are things going over there?
It's not bad. It could be better. Would be nice to get out and about, but we took part in this camp out thing at the weekend. Really exotic location, the driveway.
Nice.
And, that was good fun. There was a live stream on Facebook, and they had a band and jokes and quizzes and things. But we actually went on, I don't know if you know them, Our Haunted Travels, Panic D's.
Yeah, Panic D was in our Throwback Thursday collaboration.
That's right,
back. I remember Panic D, yes.
And they were doing a myth or true or myth quiz as well, which is good fun.
Oh man, sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, some of the things which are actually myths are amazing, but some of the things that are true are even worse. You know, things people have to.
Well, you're over in the UK and Scotland. You're like you're like the birthplace of a lot of myths, I suppose, right? Like I can think of a couple in mind right now. Loch Ness Monster. Like, did that come up during the show?
No, this was things like, you know, a drug dealer accidentally got himself arrested by dialing 911. And I went, that's got to be myth. You know,
oh, modern myths.
Modern myths,
yeah, modern myths and urban legends.
It was actually true because the dial number he was dialing was 921.
Oh, wow.
921. So he dialed 911 and are you coming to the mate? And next thing you know, there's a guy in a blue uniform turned up and arrested him. So
yeah.
Just proceed. And things like that. You know, it was modern stuff. And you had to guess whether it was true or myth. And yeah, it was something, you know, you'd think it would be easy to spot, but no, it wasn't. Oh, don't touch your face. It's just, you know, it was good fun. They go on for about an hour, and so we were sat in the van having well, I was having a whiskey. Lindsay doesn't drink these days, but I had a dram and we had a bit of fun. And I sleep back in the van anyway. So.
Well, it's always fun to get on with somebody else too. Like I'm enjoying this. I appreciate you stopping by. I was keeping an eye on Scotland there for a while, numbers wise. How are you guys doing when it comes to numbers? Like, do you know?
We got about, remembering there's only 5 million people in Scotland, there was, I think the case, there's been about 200,000 symptomatic that have been tested, which I think the numbers are around about 30,000. And at yesterday's figures, there was 220 odd deaths.
221 deaths.
Yeah, it's worse south of the border.
Yeah,
they're talking 3 or 4 times that a day.
Yeah,
but of course where we are, the central belt of Scotland is getting hit. You know, Glasgow, Scotland, Glasgow, Edinburgh, the big cities are getting hit. And most of the cases where we are in Aberdeen, which is the big city down the road, so it's the numbers are
grim.
Expected, because we're not self-isolating as such, but we are isolated. You sometimes think Elgin is busy, the town down the road from us. But 6 cars in a queue is Elgin busy. You know, it's not like other places where it's hundreds of cars and things to be busy. So yeah, it's we are better off here because
because of the geography. Okay, what kind of rules does Scotland have in place right now? Like
exactly the same as the rest of the UK. We are only allowed out for a walk, some exercise. We can't drive anywhere except to work or to shop or for health reasons. All my routine appointments have been cancelled while the therapist and the consultant are helping out on the front line. The exhibition centre has been turned into a hospital in case it's needed. As is the National Exhibition Centre down in Glasgow. As far as Scotland goes. But so far, it looks as though the NHS is coping, and they're not going to need these extra facilities. So far, we don't really know when it's going to peak.
That's pretty much the same here. Like our hospitals are coping. We're preparing for emergency hospitals to open, but we don't really know what else. One thing I'm thankful for is the coherency, not coherency. The what do you call that when our government, our prime minister is working with all of our premiers. We're all working together. They're all on the same page. I mean, you get that feeling, that sense of when they come up every morning and do their speeches, that everybody is working together.
That's happening between Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and England as well, as far as the governing parties are concerned. I
think that's very important. I think that's a wake-up call to the world.
All the things like Scottish independence and that are on hold. And that's been from the very start. But the opposition parties are getting a bit snipey now. I don't know if you know, our Prime Minister Boris Johnson is in intensive care.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And the Labour Party said it, or some of the Labour Party representatives, I was being too generic there, are saying it's what he deserves. Well, it doesn't matter what you think of the guy. You can't wish this on anybody. It's absolutely crazy.
No. That's just that, and I try to stay away from listening to that negative news too, as much as I can. But pretty much, you got to stay away from the news in general if you want to stay away from negativity.
Yeah, I'm watching the broadcast news. I sometimes catch it on the radio because it's on the hour and half hour on most stations. But I go on the websites once or twice a day. They publish the UK figures about 5 o'clock UK time. And the Scottish figures are about 2 o'clock. I go on and check them out.
Yeah. Our Prime Minister goes on at between 11 and 11:30 every morning. Every day he has a broadcast, and yesterday was probably the first one that I missed. I said, you know what? No news today. Christina listened to it out of the corner of her eye, and if there was any updates that we needed to know, I could have got it through her. But I was just like, you know what? No news for me today, guys. I just need to shut it all off and paint a picture or do a puzzle or do something and keep my mind off things. And I'm pretty glad I did, actually. Yesterday I went for a walk. We're allowed to do that as long as our faces are covered. Took my camera with me, and we saw 2 kinglets bouncing around in the trees. So as my eyes were focused upward, also a Cooper's hawk came down and settled down, and I was like, what? Right in my backyard. Wow. That's pretty crazy. So Crooksville Creek, which is the creek right behind my place right here, not far to walk to, is teeming with wildlife and activity. Squirrels, the usual black and gray, but also a couple of reds, which are rare. And these were the things that I focused on yesterday, just getting out, going for a walk, and, you know, remembering that part of the world is still normal.
I tried to keep the weekend normal, switch off the internet, just check in on my email and videos, see what comments need answering, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely finding a lot more time to concentrate on YouTube. The only problem is every once in a while, and I was crossing my fingers the whole time I was inviting you, because to invite you meant I had to open up another program, and to open up another program, I had to shut one down, because when I open up too many programs, this 10-year-old baby just says, you know what, I've had enough, and just shuts down. So hopefully we're not just talking to ourselves here. I don't see the chat moving that much.
I'm using the StreamYard chat. I was just about to go and have a look at the actual chat, because the StreamYard chat's not moved.
Yeah. I was about to do that too, but if you want to keep an eye on that, that would be great. It looks like we're okay.
It's just moved. Ma and Pa Millen have just spoken on.
There you go. Easter Bunny is now an essential service, so I will be waiting for her chocolate. Yeah, leave it to my mom to bring up chocolate to get me distracted. She knows how much of a chocolate hound I am. I'm going to hang this up.
Yeah, chocolate distracts me as well. And
I have a story.
Well, I'm not supposed to touch chocolate.
I don't even know if my parents even know this story, but I kind of remember it vividly. I grew up in a very small community, and right next to the variety store at the store. And back in those days, I guess the people that ran it were very trusting people. And back in those days, locks and keys were pretty much unheard of. You know, walked around without locking things up. And I think it was after store hours. I was just a wee young lad, not old enough to even know right from wrong, or, you know, good from bad, or what I was doing was not exactly allowed, because the store lady was such a kind lady that every time I went over there, she would give me a chocolate bar from behind the counter and say, here you go. And, you know, I didn't know whether my parents paid for it or not. I just assumed that, you know, this is where this kind lady kept her chocolate bars. So one day after the store was closed, they'd forgotten to lock the door, or didn't lock the door. I'm not sure what it was. So I just wandered into the store, went straight behind the counter, and started eating the chocolate bars one by one, just sitting there. And there was so many chocolate bars that I was just, and apparently I was just like catatonic at eating so many chocolate bars. I don't think I ate chocolate bars again for a month. Whether or not Mom knows I did that, I'm not sure, but I guess we're fine for 2 seconds. Let me think. Aunt Lorna's out planting potatoes and carrots. Yes, planting potatoes and carrots right now. Okay, so those are one of the first ones that you would plant. Do you do any planting over there, David?
Lindsay and I are both not gardeners in any way, shape, or form. We, I don't know. We just, it's just something we've never liked, never enjoyed. Which is a bit unfortunate for our next door neighbour, who is the retired head gardener for Glamis Castle. So the garden is immaculate.
Oh,
but we get on okay.
I have a bit of a green thumb, but it's never really been a huge interest of mine. I'm pretty much in the same way, but I was surrounded by farms and farmers and gardeners. My mother has a beautiful flower garden. She does a fairly decent vegetable garden. And of course, my aunt now, you can tell she's into that. So I know what to do. I just don't do it. And you know, it's kind of hard in 900 square feet of condo space to plant a garden as well. So I'm always...
I think you're in trouble, Mike, looking at the chat.
Uh-oh. So we'll have to chat about that one. Yeah, Mom, I don't even remember how old I was, but I do remember just being in my heaven, eating tons and tons of chocolate bars. Pretty sure I got caught for it too. I think Mrs. Resnick was quite upset for some reason, but yeah, I think, yeah, I'm not sure if they ever told you. Anyways,
Talking about the birds, I mean, we have the feeders in our garden.
yeah.
We get loads of songbirds, you know, the normal sparrows and coltits and blue tits and robins, blackbirds, thrushes, that kind of thing. But of course, the smaller birds do attract the hawks, and we quite regularly get visited by a male and female sparrowhawk.
Sparrowhawk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who love their, well, if the female can grab a pigeon, she will, but the sparrows are kept in check, shall we say, by the male bird. It keeps them in line, which is good because they're cheeky little babies.
Oh yeah, my mom could sit and tell stories all day about her bird feeders, and how, I don't know how many she has, probably about 13 or 14 of them around the yard that she kept busy at her most. I'm not sure how many she's doing this year, but she had quite the collection of bird feeders. And every year at Christmas time, we do a Christmas bird count here in Tilsonburg. And one of our routes along one of the rivers, the backyard bird feeders they count. And some of the backyard bird feeders yield a lot of birds. I've always enjoyed it. My daughter has a bird feeder on her balcony when she lived in an apartment in London, and they would even be drawn to that. Just the house sparrows and the wrens and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting. Birds know where to get their food, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What are we looking forward to coming through now? I guess we're a little early for a warbler season. Do you have a warbler migration there in Scotland?
Yeah, we do. It's very. Is that my audio breaking up?
Yeah, a little bit. It's probably feeding back on my computer. Sounds like it's coming through on mine.
Right. I've moved my microphone because I forgot I'd left it some distance away. So I've moved it a bit closer, which might help. I'll certainly cut down the background noise. Hi, Fran. Good to see you.
Hey, good morning. How's my neighbor down the road?
Jelly Duck as well. I missed him.
Oh, good call. Keeping up on the chats there, David. Thank you so much. Waking me up in the morning.
Yeah,
there. How's the audio now? No feedback.
I can't hear the crackling now. This chair, I'm gonna have to bolt it down. The warblers are just about starting, and of course we're trapped inside, so we're not being able to go to the normal places to view them. We've even if we went for a walk, it's all gardens around here, and you're going to be limited in scope. As if we could get down to spiny, all the variety of warblers we get would be there. We're pretty much restricted to willow warblers and garden warblers where we are. But if we got down to spiny, there'd be all sorts there. The flycatchers will be back. The black everything it would be.
Yeah, well, like I said, the creek that runs just outside my house, I'm very fortunate. It's not a public space. It's actually it's not a park. It's actually a walkway. It's not shut down for any reason. There's lots of social distancing between the two, and it runs right along a creek for, I don't know, probably 2.5 miles. This Cooksville Creek runs all the way down to the Lake Erie, which is I think it's about 6 miles away from us. Lake Erie is.
Right.
So it does eventually go all the way down to the lake, but the walking path right beside it is right here behind my back door. So it's very easy for me to get down there. And we have what's called a spillway on either side where there's no buildings or construction. So it's like a nice valley right through the middle of Mississauga. And it's a very pleasant walk. And we're so fortunate to have it. I've done a lot of practicing with my shooting and camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm right downtown. If they heard my 12 gauge go off, I'm sure there would be some investigation. But yeah, I do practicing with my cameras and set up a lot of shots and videos out there, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, we've got plenty of nice walks, but they tend well, we have to go down through the houses to get to one particular walk, and you do get warblers, you do get the small birds there, but because it's the spay, it's bigger. Is that me again? I can hear an echo again. I might just put this back where it was. It might work better because it didn't seem to be echoing then. If you can still hear me where it is, that's weird. Anyway, where was I? Brain's gone. Yeah, it tends to be cormorants and divers, and we get the odd osprey and that along the river, and that's only a couple of 100 yards to walk, but it's just getting there amongst the
speaking of cormorants, are they overrun? Do you have a problem with the cormorants?
Some people would say yes. I don't. They don't eat the salmon. The salmon are too big for a cormorant. They eat the brown trout and other fish, and the spey. People don't fish for trout on there. It's people like me who would love to fish for the trout can't get on because of the salmon fishermen, and the salmon fishermen are paying so much for their fishing that it's even if I was, I could, I suppose, pay a salmon ticket and then go and fish for the trout, but it's an expensive way of fishing for trout when I can, in normal times, travel 100 miles and I can fish for wild brown trout for free. And
oh wow! That's do you fly fish or just
fly fishing? Yeah.
Yeah, fly fishing. Yeah, that's a great skill. Okay, let's see what the chat has to say here. My Aunt Lorna's like, "Is that Lake Ontario, Mike?" Hey, Lindsay, how's it going this morning?
It's
Or
fine.
should I say for you?
No, it's still morning.
It's still morning. Good. Lindsay.
Bearing gifts.
I was actually I don't want to make this sound rude or anything, but I was actually thinking about Lindsay on my walk yesterday. Some teenagers or something had decided to set up camp down by the river, and of course they left all their beer cans and their garbage behind, and I went, oh my goodness, got to pick this up. I don't understand it. Like 100 feet down the path, there's a garbage can sitting right there, and they're still doing trash collection. Why would you do this? I mean, I get it. I could see exactly what happened. They'd set up a little sitting area, drag some logs in out of the woods, and built a small little campfire, probably illegal, but it's not a big deal for me. But leaving your garbage behind. Why do people do this? People, don't leave your garbage behind. It's not nice for other people. So, of course, drag that to the garbage.
Yeah, Lindsay hates it, as you know. And most of the places we go, there's a trash can there anyway.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to move 10 feet to...
Not even 10 feet. Not, it's not that hard.
Yeah. Aunt Lorna and Jelly Duck are asking questions there.
Okay, Jelly Duck. Aunt Lorna says, well, Aunt Lorna, that's Lake Ontario right out by my door. My Aunt Lorna lives on Lake Erie, which is, the 5 Great Lakes here in Canada. Lake Ontario drains into Lake Erie, which drains into... No, is it? Oh, I forget. Lake Ontario drains into Lake Erie and then goes down to Lake Michigan, something like that anyways. But yeah, we're right here in Toronto, Lake Ontario. It's now getting cleaner and cleaner by the day, as a matter of fact. That's I keep an eye on that. The pollution levels on the lake are going way down for some reason. Air quality is going way up here in Toronto. Like, yeah, there's nobody's moving, Well, I think that's one of the 19 things I've learned during this pandemic is that it's only a commodity if there are consumers. And apparently there is a surplus of oil in the world right now. Loads and loads of it.
It's in some places it's less than £1 a litre here. 99 pence a litre in the UK in some places. And while that's a delight to some people, I can remember when £5 used to fill an ordinary car and £10.
£5 a litre.
No, £5.
Oh, used to fill the whole car.
Going back, £5 would used to fill. It was something ridiculous. It was less than £1 a gallon.
Yeah.
And that's what, before I joined the Air Force, I pumped gas for a garage as something to do in the day. And it was, I remember the first time I filled a Jaguar, the guy was astounded that it was so cheap. it was only when he came back that I found out that I'd only filled one of the tanks. I had a tank either side, whereas I just had the one tank. And he couldn't understand why his bill was only £5. It was because I'd only filled one tank. I had to go and fill the other tank. I think I've remembered I was, 16, 17-year-old. And I'm now 21, of course, and I still remember it.
Yeah, still remember it. It's not hard. You know, I'm a little older than you, David. I think I'm 39 again this year. So yeah, I understand. But let's do some quick conversions. If I'm not mistaken, I think a pound is 2.2 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the exact exchange rate, but that's the way. Yeah, it's about $2.
Yeah, it's about $2. So you're looking at $20 to fill the tank. Is that about right?
No,
maybe 10.
That was yeah, but that was back in the 70s. Remember?
Yeah, about $10 to fill the tank. That's about right. Because I remember I used to I rode a motorcycle back in the late 80s. And it was pretty easy for me to fill the tank with a motorcycle. I think I only had to scrape up like 10 or 12 pop bottles and maybe a beer can or two.
Yeah, I remember doing just that. Refundable bottles to fill up the bike. Yeah, I remember that.
But and it's I don't think it's back to those prices quite yet. I was at the age where they were just starting to convert from gallons to liters. So I know that was the big shock for everybody because, of course, it would be, you know, $1.25 a gallon. And then all of a sudden it went down to 35 cents a liter. So it made it look like it was cheaper.
It looked cheaper, but it had gone up by a big lump.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember 25-35 cents a liter.
Posh Cats. Hello, Trev. Trev's done the latest conversion for us.
Is he? Oh, perfect. 1 pound equals $1.73 Canadian. Thank you for that, Posh Cats, and thanks for dropping by. Appreciate that. And I don't know if I said hello to Jelly Duck. I know we acknowledged that he was in the chat, but thanks a lot. The weather here in Canada today. You know, I can see from behind me that there's a corner of my patio door. I can do a quick boom view from there. If you guys can see behind my chair that it's raining outside. Can you see that? Not really.
Not really.
It's a little misty outside. Smells like about probably 6 or 7 degrees right now. It's not that chilly, so.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're back. Gemma's back.
Welcome back, Gemma.
Welcome back. How are you? You had to go out and do sort out some trolling comments. Oh, interesting.
The thing that always gets me about your cousins down south is their gallon is smaller than ours.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. When they convert to, they have, we have 8 pints to the gallon, they have 6. And whenever they do their MPG conversion, they always forget that one of the reasons we get more miles per gallon is the fact we have more in a gallon.
And I'm also curious to know, like, Scotland is on the imperial system.
Well, yes, we're supposed to use liters, but most of us still use gallons. Well, it's one of those daft things. We buy our fuel in liters, we drive in miles per hour, and we convert to miles per gallon for fuel usage.
Yeah.
So it's mixed thing, but really these days they did make it law a few years back that we had to bin the imperial, but they haven't gone over to kilometers as far as roads are concerned. Plus, with Brexit, I'm not sure where we'll go with that. I do hope we don't go to back to pound, shillings and pence and pounds and ounces.
It's a little strange that way too. I mean, we're still, a lot of our weights are considered in pounds. I know my shipping weights. It's just easier when we're shipping because we used to ship a lot of goods back and forth across the border to our cousins, and so it was just easier for us to stay on the imperial system for shipping, how large a skid is and how much it weighs. So inches and pounds are easy for me, but when I go to the doctor's office, I weigh myself in kilograms, and so it's kind of funny how the two are not even related, closely related, the two systems, but you can convert in your mind easily.
Yeah, I as I say, I'm bilingual. When you go and buy wood at a timber yard now, you buy 4x2 in lengths of 2 meters. So it's 4 inches by 2 inches in a 2 meter length. And you buy a 2 meter by 4 meter sheet of plywood in 3/4 inch thick or 8 inch. It's a crazy mishmash in some places.
That sounds like a crazy mishmash.
Yeah.
1 US gallon. Oh yeah.
She's reminding you of the time, I think.
It's almost 7. Okay. Oh, thank you for that, Aunt Lorna. It is almost 7 a.m. But guess what? I don't have to go to work today, so I'm going to pour myself another cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Oh, look, I'm in charge. What should we do? Thanks for the conversion, Trev. I think I'll have a sip of wine as well. I don't know. Yeah, Fran, I did spot your comment from way back. Common sense, yes, and we're seeing it these days in this country as well. You can't breed for common sense, and it doesn't seem you can quarantine it either. A joke for today. Oh, look, he's off now. Yeah, I know that one. I have to do it all the time. The funny one is we're supposed to have got rid of pints, but nobody goes and buys half litres or litres in a pub. And fishermen certainly don't buy a half litre of maggots. It's a pint of maggots still. It's a crazy mixed up measuring system. I suppose eventually as the younger generations, plural, take over, it'll all become kilograms.
Well, absolutely. That's part of it. They got to work us old people out of the system is what they got to do.
Yeah.
No, Aunt Lorna, I did not get laid off. I elected to take this week off, as a matter of fact. I was feeling a little anxious at the beginning of the week, and I didn't want to do anything to mess up anything down the future for me. And work is giving me the option to take week time off if I want it. So I took a week off this week just to sort things out for myself. Simple as that. Yeah, I didn't let my anxiety get to the point where it was uncontrollable. I just basically said, you know what, guys, I need a week off. And they said, yeah, no problem. Our orders aren't all that great right now. There's normally 53 people that work in the warehouse that I work at. We're down to, I think, 11 people in the warehouse, and they're having an easy time keeping up to the orders. I think a lot of the new systems that we've put into place are helping with keeping the spread down. We're definitely practicing the 6 foot apart social distancing in the warehouse. There's plenty of space for that. There's no shared computer stations, all that kind of stuff. We're taking measures, but the orders just aren't there either. So it's, we may be an essential business. Our precision measurement tools are used in the QC department when manufacturing medical support equipment or any other manufacturing equipment by that sense. But all that stuff has gone down. So obviously the reduction in use translates to the reduction in people ordering. So it's very easy for a skeleton crew to keep up. So it's very easy for me to take the week off. I have not done a 5 on the fly recently, Fran, and you're absolutely right. Thank you for reminding me of that. It's still very easy for me to do a 5 on the fly, but they used to be live. I can't go live with my mobile camera until I have 1,000 subscriptions. So I try to stay away from my 5 on the flies. There was a couple of times during the week where I was inspired to do it. Just a couple of days ago, we had on Saturday night, we had a slow clap appreciation night. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what that is. It's where you go out on your balcony or go out on your front porch at a designated time during the evening and slow clap or make noise with your pots and pans all in appreciation for the frontline workers, the medical workers, the grocery store workers, anybody that has an essential job right now. And last Saturday at 9:30, it was just, I don't know if I can say the word right, cacophony? Cacophony, that's it. Thank you, David. of noise.
I use it a lot about my son and his games and his music, so I'm used to it. But we have that 8 o'clock on a Thursday night. We do that. Go outside and clap for the. They call it the NHS, but it's for the key workers.
Yeah.
There is a joke going around that if you go out a minute before and shout, if you all hate Man United, clap your hands. It can cause some amusement.
Yeah.
Insert local sports team. It's.
Yeah.
But the
Jays are doing. Hold it. They keep saying that the Maple Leafs are doing. This is their best season yet. They haven't lost a single game.
Yeah, my football team's been doing quite good for the last few weeks. Hasn't lost a game.
Yep.
Haven't played one, mind.
But in answer to your question, I have not done a 5 on the fly in a while, Fran. But I will. I will start doing more 5 on the flies. I find a lot more time on my hands. It will make it easier. But I plan on doing 5 on the flies. My son is currently working on a computer system for me. Something that he promises me will handle any of the future ideas that I have for YouTube or anything else that I want to do. So I'm completely limited by this 10-year-old laptop right now. Every time I go to add a new computer, it kind of spits it back in my face at me. But so that's the big bottleneck of my creativity. And hopefully once he gets the new tower in, I'll be able to do a lot more different things. I've got a few ideas for what I want to do with Live on the Fly, or Live at 6:05. So coming soon, some changes. So make sure you keep those notifications.
There is a way of going live on your mobile phone using an app, but I haven't kept an eye on which apps it is, and I know it changes. But there's a few people who do go live on a mobile with less than 1,000.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with OBS.
I'm not sure it's OBS, but it's. I know StreamYard had a mobile version, but they stopped that.
Yeah.
And but I can't remember. And as I say, it's not something I do. I haven't been live in 8 months or so now.
Yeah.
And I've got enough that I could use the phone, but my phone's. I use my phone as a phone. It's not a. It's. The camera on it is useless. Let's put it that way. There's a new name for me in there.
Well, that's a new name for you, but it's an old friend for me. That's one of my former co-workers at a different factory that I used to work at. How are you doing this morning? Yes, she's probably on her way to work, I believe, if she's still working over there. Glad to see you stop by. Everything's good. I was actually talking to Mike Brown the other day, too. I see he wished me a happy birthday. Yes, it was my birthday a couple days ago, April 3rd. I'm doing quite well. How are you? And with that, like, people are getting ready to go to work, and I'm not normally on past 7 o'clock. Like I said, I did grab another cup of coffee. You guys have done a fantastic job of helping me wake up in the morning, and I appreciate David stopping by. But I think if there are no more horoscopes to be read, I might start to wind this down, guys. If you guys don't mind, I would like to start to get to work on some of my homework emails and things like that. But it was a pleasure having you on this morning, David.
It's good to be on. Good to be on.
It's always a pleasure to have a conversation with somebody from across the big pond there. You guys, how's a Canadian accent and a Scottish accent get along together? I think we had a pretty good conversation.
This isn't a Scottish accent, really. It's an all over the place. I left my place of birth when I was 3, and then moved every 2 or 3 years after that around the northwest of England, around the Merseyside area, as it's called now. Well, it was South Lancashire, and then onto the Wirral Peninsula. And then at 16, I moved to Scotland. And then a couple of years later, I joined the Air Force. And they sent me to the West Midlands. Then they sent me back to Scotland, then Cornwall, then back to Scotland, then London, then back to Scotland. And
so you're not one of those. You're not one of those people that could be easily recognized by your accent. Oh, you must be from.
No, I get a lot of, oh, you're from the southwest. And no, I spent 3 years in Cornwall, but no. I was born in the northeast of England, and I live in the northeast of Scotland. And I call this home. I've lived in Scotland for more than half of my life. I think it's 35 years was the last count. Let's do a quick 16. 25, yeah, 35 years.
35 years.
Yeah.
That looks like a beautiful place. I can't wait to visit. I hope things are straightened out by the time my ticket is due and I can fly out there and see.
I hope so. Yeah, it's it might be a bit manic at that time if it's just opened up again, but it's that's what, 6 weeks away till the end of
6 weeks. Yeah, I got my fingers crossed. I'm not sure. I'm being hopeful.
I'd say another 3 to 4 weeks and we should know. Another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
As I say, Lindsay's going back to work. They've been, excuse me a minute. I'm getting dry.
Into your elbow.
It's only me. There's you've just reminded me of something. Lindsay's going back to work in the next week or so. They've been working from the backlog of stored stuff because all their overseas orders were cancelled. But their UK orders, it's all right, I'm laughing. Oh dear, they've used all their backlog and they reckon they'll run out in a week or so. So they want people back in producing so that they can maintain their orders so they don't lose them because they're still getting the orders. So the overseas orders. You can understand that with all the hassles of transporting stuff that must be at the moment. It's terrible. The thing you reminded me of is I watched somebody live who he's on for about an hour and a half and he must get through a bottle of hand sanitizer every time he goes on live stream. He's always sat there washing his, rubbing it and squirt. He must get through the whole bottle in a live stream.
I find myself, I don't know if you'd say overly using it whenever I step out. Whenever I step in, I have a desanitizing station right by the door. Fortunately, we have a stackable washer and dryer. And so I literally just strip and then straight into the shower. And then I feel completely, fine while I'm in my house. And so I'm not, big on, I wash my hands, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. But when I'm at work, it's like, I feel like I'm touching my face. I better go wash my hands. Oh no, did I just touch something? I don't know if it's clean or not. I better go wash my hands. And I find myself washing my hands 30 or 40 times a day and using the hand sanitizer and all that kind of stuff. I tell you, by the end of the day, my hands are just raw from washing and dehydrating. And
I use soap and water rather than hand sanitizer. But
well, soap and water is the best. Apparently, it completely destroys the cohesion of the molecule that is the virus.
I've looked into the science of it, and
it's grease, isn't it, that holds the
basically a layer of grease-like substance. So any degreasant would be better than some of the things. But it's got to be over soon. It has to be.
It has to be.
I know China, the city where it's all supposed to have started, is getting back to normal. They opened the doors today, so there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep. And so let's end the stream on that positive note, guys. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's keep up with our Let's keep up with our duties, social distancing. Today will be an interesting day. I think my post on Facebook today is going to, you know how I'm asking, well, not everyone here follows me on Facebook, but you know how people ask for pictures of, you know, something's red, or pictures of the last number on your camera roll, or things like that. I was thinking about starting a post of, hey, it's law and required that we need to wear cloth on our face when we go out in public. Let's see those selfies. What are you wearing? What kind of balaclava are you wearing? Come up
I'll
with
get the tablecloth back out for you.
And David, you started the stream with the ultimate face cover. So, all right, guys. Everybody, stay safe. Thanks for coming by, David. I'm gonna let you say your goodbyes right now, and then I'm gonna take you down off the stream. So, any
Goodbye,
last
everybody in the chat. Thanks for coming along. It's been great. This is the first panel I've ever done. It's been a while since I've had the camera up and running. In fact, who knows? Now it's set up, I might go live. We'll see.
Well, it's been a lot of fun having you, David. I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for helping me wake up in the morning. Great job. And thanks to everybody in the chat. And I'm going to say goodbye to you right now, David.
Right. Cheers, Mike.
Yep. All right. That was David from Desmond's Donders. I'm sure you guys know who he is. You're all in the chat rooms with him, and I've probably watched a lot of his videos. Appreciate him coming by. So glad that you guys could make it. And I am here every morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, live at 6:05. And I will read your horoscopes to you if you want that. We've got through quite a few horoscopes this morning before I invited David on the panel. And hey, guys, this is live at 6:05. You never know what to expect, what happens here. So I could invite people on panels tomorrow or next Friday. But next Friday, I'm really working hard on something different for my stream. So hopefully you guys are here next Friday live at 6:05 to see me, Mike, chilling with Millen. And I'm going to leave you with this. Ouch, a broken guitar and an off-tuned stream. So here we go, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Who's that guy at 6:05? Maybe you'll find him 5 on the fly. It's chillin' with Millen. Yeah, chillin' with Millen. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Where will you chill next?